And we're loading into the map, which is MP Blue Reach River. Sir Atolfo of Bretonnia taking on XMT Gobbo Slayer and the Skaven in round 1 of this best of 5 final for today's tournament. Let's see. MP Blue Reach River. Although, where is the river? Aha, there's the river. Way out there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. For the Bretonians, we have 3 peasant mob. We're going to have 2 battle pilgrims. We're going to have peasant bowmen. Looks like 2 with pox arrows, 1 without. Going to have 2 field trebuchets. And then for the cavalry, we're going to have Knights of the Realm with questing knight. So it looks like 4 Knights of the Realm and a single questing knight. Knights of the Realm, I imagine, to deal with rat ogres. Questing knights to deal with doom wheels. Now we have the paladins up in the air. Both of them will be on top of Pegasus. Both of them will have Guardian to give each other that physical resist. And both of them will have the Charmed Shield, which gives them a lovely parry chant buff when they're wearing a shield, which both of them have. So we're going to have plus 24 missile parry and 22% damage resistance for 17 seconds. So that's a ward save, and it's only a 60-second cooldown, so very powerful tool. And cool to see it on top of both paladins, so we'll see how it helps out. Now, leading the army into battle is going to be the Fey Enchantress. Fey Enchantress is on top of her Unicorn Silverrun. She's going to have Earthblood and Mist of the Fey. And that's it. Now, let's go take a look at the Skaven being led by XMT Gobbo Slayer in red. Gonna have Clan Rat Spears. Looks like 4 of them up front. We're going to have a single Skaven Slave Spear. We're gonna have a 5th Clan Rat Spear back here. We're gonna have 3 Skaven Slaves. We have the Council Guard Storm Vermin with halberds. We have a single Warp Lightning Cannon. We have 2 Warp Lock Giselles. One of them will be the ROR Natty Boo Boo Sharpshooters. We'll have that stock. We got some Warp Grinders, 2 Assassins. The Assassins going to be bringing Slippery, Rival High Talisman, and Assassin's Trophy. And then last but never least, we have Doom Wheels. Yes, yes. And maybe there's not a lot in terms of numbers, but in terms of quality, you don't get any better than this. We have the Regiment of Renown Wheels of Doom. Doom Wheel in action here. And then we're also going to have Ikit Claw, the mad inventor himself, going to be riding his custom Doom Wheel into battle. Doom Wheels! Hey there, Crastic, good to see ya. And yes, I guess I'm back. I'm well enough to be back. I really want to be back, so I'm back. Siphos. Alright. Skaven are going to be pushing forward, and both players, Bretonnian build a little more straightforward to what I'm used to seeing here. The Skaven build, I mean, I guess I'm seeing a lot of things I typically see here, but my main thing I'm surprised by is no Rat Ogres, no Helped Abomination. Usually I see one or the either or both. So we'll see. As long as they can survive the cycle charging of the Bretonnian Cavalry, then I think they'll be in a good place. And right now the Knights of the Realm really don't have too many good targets, so this Warp Grinder team's going to need to be working overtime. So that's my biggest worry here, is that the Bretonnians are going to be able to get in here and start prying it apart. Now, we'll see what happens, but I think the Skaven are going to be forced to close the gap here. I don't think they're going to want to sit back and wait for the field trebuchets to eliminate all of their units. Warp lightning cannon opening fire, but oh, it looks like it was actually going for the peasant bowman, so swing and a miss there, but we'll see how they do in a moment here, and it looks like all of the Skaven forces are actually going to be opening fire trying to eliminate the peasant bowman, which I like that decision. These guys will be able to dodge it all day unless you have a Howling Warp Gale, which he does on top of Wicked Claw with the Brass Orb and Warp Lightning, so an Overcast Howling Warp Gale on top of these guys could be quite rough, especially with how much firepower the Skaven have here between the Warp Lightning Cannon and the two Warlock Giselle units. Charm Shield is down there with that Warp Save and the Shield effect, but it is worn out now. And the Bretonnians look like they're actually going to be running their cavalry over here into the trees for the most part. Over here, ooh, Warp Lightning Cannon opening up. The extended effect duration on top of the Paladins with that Warp Gale has been absolutely devastating. That guy's going to start routing. He'll be able to come back, and I'm sure the Fey Enchantress will be able to heal them both back up. But only Earthblood, so not going to have any regrowths. And oh, the Warp Lightning Cannon. Oh, he shattered. That Paladin shattered. So one of the Paladins has been dealt with completely already. A huge pickup for the Skaven forces here. And now the Doom Wheel's just doing what they do best, which is just drive around and harass the hell out of these peasants. Looks like the Skaven very much coming out on top in terms of the skirmish trade so far. But the Trebuchets have taken their first victim, which is going to be these Warlock Giselles here. One more Warp Gale, and this Paladin could go down. Ouch. Bad shot from the Warp Lightning Cannon already going down on top of him. And, yeah, there it goes. That Paladin going to definitely be in range to take another shot from the Warp Lightning Cannon in just a moment. So we'll see if it gets any good damage. Oh, just kidding. It's going after the Knights of the Realm. Oh, Doom Wheels are just going straight into the Knights of the Realm now. Trebuchets are trying to get in combat with them too. Here comes a Warp Lightning Cannon. Oh, not doing too much damage, but I like that it was placed a little bit behind him. Fey Enchantress is now in combat, and those Knights of the Realm taking a lot of damage, but also same with the Wicked Claw and the Wheels of Doom. Looks like a lot of friendly fire is hitting them right now from the Warp Lightning Cannon and the Warlock Giselles. And just like that, the balance of power is starting to go back to even, folks. But so far, the Skaven really playing this well. I have to give them credit. The Trebuchets are just going to continue doing work, but so far, they've really only been able to take out a lot of these Warlock Giselles. Whereas the Skaven have just gotten a lot of good trades across the field, but balance of power definitely in favor of Bretonnians right now. Continuing to whittle away at those peasant bowmen. Oh, the Trebuchet is just going nuts. Yeah, right here, Charm Shield has been popped. But as we've seen before, one well-timed Warp Gale can eliminate a Paladin. Granted, there's a lot less Warlock Giselles on the field of battle right now than there was earlier. We're crossing that 5-minute mark, going into the 7th minute here. And I'd say we're comfortably in the late game now. or in the mid game. Definitely a skirmish-heavy engagement so far. Doesn't look like the Paladins wanting to stay anywhere near it because of the potential of that Howling Warp Gale. Give me 1 second, dogs, and I'll let you head out. Yeah, Peasant Bowman pretty much been shut down for most of this fight. There goes the Howling Warp Gale. Not overcast for a prolonged period of time, though, so he may be able to survive this one. Ooh, yeah, taking a lot of damage, but oh no, he still hasn't moved yet. There he goes. Charm Shield is active again, getting that ward save. Paladin continuing to take a lot of damage here. Guys, calm down. Sorry, my dogs are freaking out. Alright, I'm going to let him out really quick and we'll just get some cinematic shots as I do it. Alrighty, and we're back. What did I miss? Oh no, Ikit Claw? Or is it an oh no? I don't even know. Warp Lining going down. Wheels of Doom pulling out. Same with Ikit Claw. Paladin's coming up behind him though, but both of the Assassins are in here too. So, Paladin may want to be careful. Same with the Fey Enchantress. But both of them with their superior mobility should be able to get out of there. Alright, Rival Height Talisman has been popped in now. No, the Paladin is going back into combat. His melee attack is going to be down to 5. So fat chance he's going to be hitting anybody. But one of the Assassins is taking a lot of damage. So we'll see what happens there. Going to have the Brass Orb going down, pinning these Bretonnian units in place. And now the Skaven are going all in. They're sending in a Council Guard. It looks like the Warp Grinders are getting into a dangerous position where they could potentially net a lot of these Bretonnians in place, and then, you know, Warp Quake them. So this is a very close fight. Bretonnians still have the edge, and you can see that the Bretonnian bowmen are actually, in spite of their tattered state, coming back, and they have a good amount of ammunition left. So we'll see what they can do. But right here, going to see all the Bretonnian infantry pretty much routed at this point, but it's always going to be about the cavalry anyway. Over here, Battle Pilgrims, Seismic snared in place. Same with some of these Questing Knights, and a Warp Quake going down as well. And ouch. A lot of damage going down to some of the key units from the Bretonnians right there. Oh no, the Wheels of Doom getting targeted by the Paladin, and now a big hit going down on top of it. Paladin going in for another hit. The Fey Enchantress is in here too. It's getting shot by Peasant Bow Fire. And oh, there goes some Knights of the Realm into it too. Can't believe that Doom Wheel is still alive, to be completely honest. I thought it would have exploded by now. And losing that Regiment of Renown, it's going to hurt. But I mean, as I say it, Ikit Claw continuing to just dish out those crazy terror routes across the Bretonnian lines. Battle Pilgrims getting terror routed. Warp Lining Cannon still online. Oh no, it's out of ammunition, just kidding. Both of the Assassins are pretty tattered, but they're definitely still in a place where it's like if there's any way they could possibly catch the Fae, they could do a lot of work to her. Assassin's Trophy on top of her. Ikit Claw going in. Knights of the Realm playing some good defense to keep the Fey Enchantress alive and well. Over here, Bretonians have a lot of forces in reserve, kind of sitting idle for now. Like to see them start pushing forward, maybe continuing to help rout off all these Skaven units, but right now the balance of power is definitely in Bretonia's favor, and so they can kind of sit back and relax, just focus on using a portion of their army to kind of slowly whittle away the Skaven army instead of sending anybody in an all-in kind of fashion, because that is one way I think the Skaven can win this, is if the Bretonians blob up too much and, you know, you just get continual terror routes from Ikit Claw. Alright, Seismic Snare and a Warp Quake going down on these Knights of the Realm. Got Skaven Slaves Spears coming up from behind them. Ikit Claw going after these Battle Pilgrims. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the Knights of the Realm are regrouping. You got some questing Knights over here too. Provide some armor-piercing support. Have to say, it's rare you see both players run out of all of the ammunition on their artillery pieces. The Skaven Ball of Doom is coming at the Council Guard for that Unbreakable unit. Ikit Claw for the Terror. And then the Assassins to snipe down the heroes. And then you have a respectable amount of chaff still. Also have the Warp Grinders too. Net things in place. So it's time to see what happens. Skaven, I think, making a good play here, especially if it works out. You can see Ikit diving into the woods with the Assassins after these Knights of the Realm. Oh, if he can get close enough to get a shot off on top of him, he could potentially get him to rout. And then he's getting most of his army here in the woods as quickly as possible. Uh-oh, uh-oh. We're going to have to see if a Seismic Snare goes down here in the nick of time. Will this trade be worth it, or is the Cav going to regret it? I mean, if they can knock out the Council Guard, that's a huge pickup, but they're taking a lot of damage here. May not be the best of trades. If you see the Council Guard and you just have your Cav and no supporting units, maybe best just to avoid the engagement altogether, because, yeah, the Skaven definitely came out on top there. Balance of power is still heavily in favor of the Bretonians, though. Yeah, both players just regathering their chaff, their elites, and their leadership. It's keeping the Warp Grinders in the rear, which I like, to help snare anything that tries to come up from behind. Right now, gotta see an effort to attack. It looks like he's sending in the trebuchets. Peasant Bowman opening fire. Ooh, they still have some good ammunition left on them. Brass Orb going down. Oh, that might be enough to kill off these peasants. There's a Warp Lightning on as well. Boom. Nice 1-2 punch, knocking those Peasant Bowmen out. Good job keeping his formation dynamic. Keeping people facing in multiple directions. I do think he needs to just continue focusing on routing off all these infantry units. Oh man, this is a crazy game. Really not sure which way it's going to go because, you know, a mistake from either side could have really turned the tide significantly one way or the other. I feel like he's trying to bait out the seismic snare. So far, the Skaven not doing so. Doomwheel's going in, trying to kick out the terror here. Alright, there goes the seismic snare. It's pinned in place, and the warp quake went down too, but oh no. Now that the unit is routing, it is no longer active. But look at that, the Bretonnia Knights, all of them here, terror routing. Got one unit in Knights of the Realm that's doing okay, but there is a Rival High Talisman that has been popped. And a Rival High Talisman being saved for this late in the game, what a great play. Come over here and debuff these Battle Pilgrims again. Balance of power is getting real close back to even, folks. Bretonnia Cavalry is, I honestly think, officially on its last leg. These guys have one more charge in them at the very least. Oh, one of the assassins is routing. Warp lining going off down here, hitting some of the knights. Doing some damage. Fan Enchantress is in combat too. Right now, going after Ikit. They're going all in. And looks like the Bretonnians are going to be able to hold on to victory here. As the Skaven forces are disappearing around Ikit and the assassin. And pretty soon, once the Council Guard goes, they're going to be all by their lonesome. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's going to be any luck here for this Skaven. This is going to be a Bretonnian victory after a hard-fought fight. Okay, am I speaking too soon? Terror's just into kicking on everything. Ay ay ay. Fan Enchantress coming into combat. Alright. Both players kind of regrouping again. Assassin getting a nice hit off on top of the Fan Enchantress. Oh, Knights of the Realm and the Fan Enchantress coming into combat. Ikit Claw wavering. Oh, the rout. And that's it. GG. The Fan Enchantress has prevailed. And she's covered in mud. I mean, look at those trebuchet kills and the cap kills across the board. Very, very good. Peasant Bowman still got value. I mean, honestly, I like Poison Wind Mortars a lot here, specifically for Peasant Bowman, but that may just be me. But I mean, Ikit Claw getting a ton of value. I like the Doomwheel play a lot. I think there was an initial engagement that was kind of bad for them where they took a bit more damage than they needed to, but overall, I think both players played very well, and I'm excited to see what happens in round 2 here, because I think we have a good ball game. And here we are. Round 2 of the best of 5 final between Sir Atolfo and Gobbo Slayer. This time we have the Empire taking on the Lizardmen. So time to see if the short-sighted plans of man will interfere with the old one's plan. Now, let's remove that intro card. Get to the battle. Starting first with the Lizardmen. I decided to draw a big circle around them in case you didn't know these are Lizardmen. Anyway, don't know I did that. For the infantry, we have Saurus Warriors. Looks like 2 of them. We're going to have 4 Skink Cohort. The Red-Crested Skink ROR, the cohort of Sotek. In the back line, looks like we're going to have a wall of Cold One Riders. So 4 of them to be precise. We got these Saurus Velociraptor riding cavalry. Anyways, my brain's running a bit slow. So, getting on to the rest of the army from here. Going over the hero squad, we got the Skink Priest of Heavens. Of course, going to have that Wind Blast. And then we have the Skink Priest of Beast with the Manticore Summon. Other than that, we have a Bastillodon with the Solar Engine. And then we're going to have a regular barrel Bastillodon. Make it 2 of them. And then we have a Kroxigor Ancient, going to be bringing the Miasma of Despair, the Horn of Kygor, along with Amulet of Itzel. I do love me some Kroxigor Lords. Now, going over the Empires. We're going to have a lot of state troops. So it looks like we're going to have Spearmen with shields. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. We're going to have the Sigmar Sons Regiment of Renown Swordsmen holding down the center there. And then we're going to have 2 units of Halberdiers. Other than that, the infantry will be rounded out by 2 units of Flagellant. So we do have 3 unbreakable units of infantry in this build, which I like to see against the Lizardmen. Can be very useful when trying to buy time for ranged units to work. And range units perhaps like 3 handgunners. Haven't seen a bunch of handgunners against the Lizardmen in a while. I like handguns. I don't use them very well, so I rarely bring them, but I feel like some people can use them to great effect and get a ton of value. Now, hero squad's over here, but before we cover them, let's take a look at the single great cannon that is on the right back corner of the battlefield here. It's going to have a nice little vantage point firing out from here, and it should be easy to protect since there's only a couple of avenues of approach. For the large units, we're going to have Empire Knights. Got 2 of them. And then we are going to see a Warrior Priest on a horse with Soulfire and the Hammer of Sigmar. We also have a Jade Wizard with Earthblood. Nothing else, he's going to be on foot. And then we're going to have Volkmar the Grim. Now, Volkmar is going to be on top of his chariot. He's going to be bringing Grand Soulfire, Grand Shield of Faith, and the Grand Hammer of Sigmar, along with Banishment, and the Jade Griffin for that regeneration. Alright, here we go. Solar Engine going to go ahead and open fire, and the cannon's going to go ahead and return fire. It does outrange the Solar Engine significantly, so it looks like this guy may just be moving forward for now, trying to shoot juicier targets like handguns. Chameleon Skinks getting counter skirmished by the handguns, but with their 40% missile resistance, it's going to be tough to shoot down Chameleon Skinks. Not going to be a fair trade for those handguns at all. Right here, handguns shooting down some Skink cohort. Then you have Volkmar the Grim diving into them. Spearmen get a nice counter charge right here, if they would like. Banishment going down, hitting those Chameleon Skinks hard, taking them out about half health. Sigmar's Son's not getting a counter charge, but in comes a charge from the Empire Knights to knock back those Skinks. Over here, Soul Fire going down on top of the Skink cohort, doing quite a lot of damage. Oh no, charge defense against large was lost there. Ooh, Sigmar's Son's taking a nasty wind blast to the face, but the Skink cohort getting terror routed. Right now, they have themselves a ball game, giving the Empire the edge so far in the balance of power. Solar Engine, look at it. It has a handgun on top of it and a great cannon, and it just stands no chance against that combination. Lizardmen don't have any heals in this battle, keep in mind, so what they lose, they lose. Over here, going to see the Flagellants diving into the cohort of Sotek. Actually a pretty clever trade there. These guys are cheaper, they're unbreakable, and I also think in just a total engagement they might win because so much armor piercing is on top of the cohorts. The cohorts weapon strength, so the Flagellants actually probably trade better there. Now, other than that, we're going to be seeing the Lizardmen Cavalry start to come into play in a much more serious manner, and they are just completely avalanching through the Empire left flank and tying up so many units. Now, being in prolonged combat with this much infantry may not work out for them. I think these halberds are going to start doing a lot of work the longer they sit around in here. But Kroxigor Ancient is losing a lot of health. I don't know. This battle is all over the place. Both these guys just coming out swinging. Empire was looking a bit stronger in the beginning of the game than they are now, but Volkmar the Grim is still there with some halberds around him. Can't count them out just yet. Over here you have the cannon getting attacked, but you have Empire Knights and Spearmen counter-charging the Cold One Riders, and that's going to be a very potent combination that I think will be capable of taking out those Lizardmen Cav units. Warrior Priest is still alive and well. I don't know. Yeah, balance of power dead even right now. Solar Engine back online and firing away. Banishment coming down here. Oh, it's going to catch him. It's going to catch him. It's going to do some damage. Not the worst. It's still going to do some. And these guys look like they're going to go through it just a little bit too, taking some damage. Oh, Grand Soul Fire coming down. And these King Cohort and Saurus Warriors do not like it. And once again, the balance of power starting to shift over to the Empire now. I think Volkmar the Grim is a very, very tough nut to crack as you're approaching the mid to late game, especially without much firepower. But here comes another Manticore summon. Kroxigor Ancient is on top of Volkmar, doing some good damage. Oh, Soulfire going down on top of these Cold One Riders. In comes some Spearmen with shields that hit him in the rear. Oh, but the Warrior Priest is going to start routing first. But there they go. I think they'll be able to save him. Empire Knights are coming in too to provide that mass. Get a nice charge bonus in. And then if they can regather the Warrior Priest, I think they'll be in a good spot. But now the Lizardmen once again taking the lead in a serious way. And man, every time I look away, something has happened. The game-changing plays. Over here you can see that the Kroxigor Ancient is just going to town on Volkmar the Grim. And Volkmar the Grim is not in a good position because he is nowhere near any friendly units. Chameleon Skinks are going to start shooting him now. You have the Stillodon with the Solar Engine firing in from the other angle now. And looks like we're going to have to see a split series as Chain Route kicks in. And only Volkmar the Grim will remain, but a concession there from Sir Atolfo, recognizing that it was up. So look at that, guys. Tied match. Alright. But yeah, I mean, both players played it well. I do think, at least there, you know, I mean, they do good damage, but it's just like, They really didn't get to pay for themselves here. And there was plenty of infantry there to play defense too. I mean, I don't really have any big problems with this build. Maybe skip one handgunner and just focus more on, you know, getting another cav unit in there. I do think just having more Empire Knights, like 4 Empire Knights against the Lizardmen, for me is just kind of like a default sometimes, because they're so good against Saurus Warriors and Skink Cohort. But nonetheless, a great game, and now we have a tied 1-1 match in this best of 5 final, so let's get to it. Alright, let's see if you're right, Viking. So, let's start with the Tomb Kings first, eh? Starting up, they have archers here. They have 4 of them with the Blessed Legion of Akath. Going to be amongst them as well with that armor sundering. We're also going to have 2 Tomb Guard and 5 Skeleton Warriors. Oh no, sorry, I think that might be 3 Tomb Guard and 4 Skeleton Warriors. So what we have here, Tomb Guard, Skeleton Warrior, Skeleton Warrior, Skeleton Warrior, Skeleton Warrior, 2 Tomb Guard. So yep, 3 Tomb Guard with 4 Skeleton Warriors, 4 Skeleton Archers, and then we have 2 Skeleton Chariots. I love you, Skeleton Chariots. You're also going to have a Chimerian War Sphinx, and then for the leader also on top of a Chimerian War Sphinx, we're going to have Setcher the Imperishable, Naru's Incantation of Protection, Jaff's Incantation of Cursed Blades, and that will be it. Oh, just kidding. You also have a Necrotech down here, who's going to have Restore, and he's going to be on a chariot as well. Now for the dwarfs, we're going to have some defensive geometry, no doubt. We have dwarf warriors. Look like they'll make up the front line here. Looks like we have 3 of them. And then we're going to have Longbeards. Looks like 4 of them in the back line. Going to have miners in the back line, as well as the Peak Gate Guard, Regiment of Renown Hammerers that do magical damage. These guys are some heavy-hitting fools indeed. You have the Dragonback Slayers back here. And then in the pocket, we're going to have another 2 miners. We're going to have 2 Iron Drakes with Trollhammer torpedoes and Eklund Miners, Regiment Renown Miners with blasting charges. On the field, we have Gotrek leading the way with his heroic fortitude, and Belagar Ironhammer as the general in command. He's going to be absolutely naked. But coming in with a 60 melee attack, 60 melee defense stats, along with 120 armor and a silver shield, he's no chump. Sorry for the wrong bracket posting there. My bad. Forgot to update it. Alright, so the Tomb Kings opting here for a strong right flank. Looks like they're holding the line here with their front line, waiting for the Dowie to approach. Now that their archers are in range, they're going to try to get a nice concave, fire into a kill zone. Right now, they are going after the Iron Drakes with the Trollhammer torpedoes by the looks of it, and Iron Drakes are going to have very good armor, but looks like we're going to be seeing them with that armor debuff because of the armor sundering, bringing them from 120 down to 95. Now they're going to start shooting at the Blessed Legion of Akath, but I don't see that working out for them. And this could be very key play for the Tomb Kings here early on. If they can pull this off, they could potentially seal the fate of the Dowie army pretty early here, in my opinion. But maybe I'm overestimating how important these Trollhammer torpedoes are going to be, but I think with 2 War Sphinxes on the field of battle, they're going to definitely want those Trollhammer torpedoes online and well, so they can shut down these constructs. Conky Poyos, that will be coming up in December, my friends, so keep an eye out for it. Over here, Dragonback Slayers getting shot with no armor. A nice juicy target for these skeleton archers, and balance of power is dead even, but we'll see. The dwarfs seem to be taking a lot of damage here, but to be fair, so do the Tomb Kings at this point. You can see here the center unit of skeleton archers getting blown to smithereens by the Ekron miners. One of these chariots getting knocked out. You have these miners taking down the skeleton archers. And over here, Ushakti Summon going right down in the middle. Chimerian War Sphinxes are free, alive, and healthy though, running away from Belagar and Gotrek. Over here, Tomb Guard coming out to fight. Longbeards coming in to charge them. Doesn't even quite look like they were counter-charging the Longbeards or not, but either way, should go to the Tomb Kings based on the health difference in the initial engagement. Skeleton Warriors getting chewed down over here. Going to be seeing some good micro from our player Sir Atolfo with the Chimerian War Sphinxes, constantly microing them around, getting in different engagements, trying to pop terror, but as you can see, the leadership of the dwarfs is quite high at this point. Doesn't seem like they're going to be terror routing anytime soon, but these War Sphinxes have got to keep the pressure up and got to actually start getting some actual breaks. Otherwise, I don't know how it's going to work out for them in the long run. These constructs without any infantry support, it's not going to work. I mean, the Tomb Kings did do a good job of really taking out a lot of the health of these Trollhammer torpedoes, but unfortunately, they still have 10 and 14 models, so they are definitely just as dangerous as they were before, slightly less dangerous, in spite of all those arrows going into them. So if they get a well-timed volley off into these constructs, the amount of damage they can do is just absolutely disgusting. Alright, miners coming down. We're going to be able to trap these skeleton archers. And then you are going to be seeing Cetra and his War Sphinx continuing to just run around the battlefield, but it seems to me that the Dawi are dragging the Tomb Kings back, sending them back to the realm of souls. And yeah, right now they're just beelining it for the Iron Drakes, doing their best to knock them out before they can get any damage dealt, but the infantry just also isn't going their way. Seeing that the Tomb Guard seem to be losing here to the Ekron Miners, the superior armor piercing of the ROR, possibly leading them to victory. These Longbeards, even though they started with half health, and the Tomb Guard came in at full health, you can see the Tomb Guard is already below half health, and these guys are still fighting. War Sphinxes continuing to cycle in and out, this time hitting the Ekron Miners in the back, doing some good damage on that charge. Will it be enough to cause a terror rout? Not sure. These guys do have Frenzy, but there it goes. Incantation of protection going down, but you can see that there's just really nothing left for the Tomb Kings to work with in any serious way. The Tomb Guard really are just buying time. They're not killing anything. They're just kind of tar pitting with Longbeards, a fight between two very defensive units. And yeah, now Gotrek, Belagar getting some nice pot shots off against these guys every now and then. And just really don't see a path forward for our Tomb King player here. That's going to be a victory to Gobbo Slayer. Yeah, Viking. Yeah, Iron Drakes in general. Those units where it's like their ability to kill you is not based on their health car, it's their model count. And so, yeah, when you see one of those ones with like no health but 10 models left, you're still in for a world of hurt if they unleash a volley of them on you. Their reload time is ridiculously slow, though. So yeah, I mean, great game. But Gobbo Slayer are going to go up, taking the lead now, 2-1. So is this going to be going to a round 5, or is it going to be ended in round 4 here by Gobbo Slayer, who is currently on match point? Plain of Spiders is the map, and this is going to be our matchup today, folks. This is round 4 of the best of 5 final between Sir Atolfo of Bretonnia playing the Lizardmen versus XMT Gobbo Slayer with the Greenskins. It is XMT Gobbo Slayer's match point as he is currently up 2-1 in this best of 5. So here we are on the map now. Players have loaded in, and it is Plain of Spiders, and since it's going after its namesake, let's start with the Greenskins and their Forest Goblin Spider Riders. Now, they're going to have 3 of them, all of them the Archer variant. So, good harassing force, one of the best skirmish cav units in the game, in my opinion. Going to have a decent amount of infantry here, so we're going to have goblins on either flank of the front line. One backed up here by the 8-peak loonies. Then we're going to have night goblins, another 3 of them, bringing it to a total of 4. Now, my friend is here, and my dogs are freaking out, so I hope you don't mind listening to them bark for a moment. Other than that, we have some Savage Orc Biggins, along with some Black Orcs, and the Rusty Errors with their armor sundering fire. We have the Arachnarok Queen on top of, on the battlefield. And then for the leadership, we got ourselves a Night Goblin Shaman, who has, oh my goodness, what is this here? The Madcap Mushrooms, a Wand of Jet, and Vindictive Glare. We're also going to be looking at a Giant River Troll Hag with Bombardment of, or Salt of Stone, I think is what it's called. We're also going to have Mither, along with Spirit Leech, and Overwhelming Odor, of course, because they're just so stinky. Down here we have Skarsnik with the Fermented Fungi, Spite of the Bad Moon, and his good old cave squig Gobla giving him a nice affectionate lick on the face. And then we have Get Back here for the plus 16 leadership. Alright. Going over our blue players' army here, the Lizardmen being brought by Sir Atolfo of Bretonnia. Going to have Chameleon Skinks up front. It looks like we're going to have 2 on either flank. So a lot of skink skirmish power here, backed up by, looks like 1 skink cohort on the right flank, and then 4 of them here in the center, all of them with javelins. We're going to be seeing Cold One Riders in the rear, with a Cold One Spear Rider down here in the center. And then covering the leadership, it does look like we have a Skink Priest of Beast on foot, just going to be bringing the transformation of Kadon to summon that Manticore. And then we're going to be looking at a Monster Core, which will have a Bastiladon with the Solar Engine. We're going to have a Feral Stegodon here for that Triceratops power. And then, as if that wasn't enough, we have Slock, the legendary mount being ridden by Lord Mazdamundi, the Slan Mage Priest himself. He's going to have Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Apotheosis, along with the Sunburst Standard of Hexawaddle, and Greater Arcane Conduit. Now that rounds out the Lizardmen forces, and it's time to see these 2 forces clash. River Troll Hag and the Goblins are already coming out quick, and we're going to be seeing the Solar Engine targeting the Giant River Troll Hag. I like that choice, and Chameleon Skink's going to come out and make their presence known early. Oh, looks like they decided to start shooting these goblins, and they took quite a lot of damage there. Looks like it's going to be killing off at least 6 of their models, and the Greenskins are going to continue the approach as the Chameleon Skinks continue to retreat, pull back here, and it looks like they're going to be trying to go back to the safety of their own line. River Troll Hag has taken a lot of damage at this point, so we have to be careful here not lose too much. Obviously, going to be able to heal it back given that she's a troll and has regen, but yeah. Over here, we're going to be seeing Cold One Riders coming out. Looks like they're going in for a charge against the Goblins. Goblins are turning around, opening up their backs to that charge. And now we're going to be seeing the Skink cohort coming after them to clog the hole, allowing these guys to break off clean and have a nice retreat. River Troll Hag coming back, regaining her leadership, only to be shot again, and now thinking twice. Looks like she's going to be running again with her Skull Bra. Looks like we had the Loons just cast, doing a lot of damage to the Skink cohort. And so far, pretty good trades for the Lizardmen. Looks like they've gotten a lot of good damage done on the approach, and now they're going to be crushing some Greenskin forces in initial engagements. But yeah, time will tell. These battles have a way of starting out in favor of the Lizardmen and then potentially going sour quick as the battle wears on and the dinosaurs get healed up. Or sorry, going to the Greenskins as the battle wears on and they start dragging down the forces as they get caught. Over here, it looks like we're going to be seeing a summon of some type. Going to be the second Manticore getting summoned. Mazda Mundi and the Stegodon over here, but Black Orcs, immune to psychology, coming in with their great axes, kind of going to be chasing them off, making them think twice rather than staying in combat against these heavy damage dealers. Over here, Ragnarok Queen and Skarsnik coming forward. It looks like they may be trying to get in combat with the Solar Engine, but now they are turning away. Looks like maybe they're coming back to protect somebody from something, and here it is. We have the giant River Troll Hag getting chased by Cold One Riders right now. Mither on top of them, slowing them down to a near crawl, which so far is saving the River Troll Hag's skin. But we'll see. I mean, if they close the gap, I think the River Troll Hag could definitely win that. Over here, going to have the Chameleon Skinks and this Skink cohort with javelins murdering these goblins in the back lines. And taking stock of the battlefield as a whole, it does look like Sir Atolfo of Bretonnia's Lizardmen have the lead right now, but I definitely think this is way too early to call. We're approaching the 5th minute of the battle here, and so far both players have been playing this just beautifully. These Black Orcs unfortunately do look like they're going to get knocked out, isolated from any of their allies, and these two big dinosaurs are just going to have a field day as their allies throw javelins in from on top of this hill, poisoning these Black Orcs. Banishment going down over here on top of the Rusty Airs. Looks like it did some good damage, but not going to do its maximum potential. So these guys are going to be down to about half health, but still going to be in the fight with a decent model count. Alright, so the lines for both of these players have just deteriorated into nothingness. But you can see it looks like they're trying to kind of redress their lines, get regrouped in a general sense. But Night Goblins over here, their unbreakable 8-peak loonies, just going to come running forward, let go of their fanatic loons, and then going to turn back away and run back to the safety of their own lines. It's just great micro on display there, you know, being able to recognize the value of a single unit, push it forward, let off one of its special abilities, and then pull it back. Both these players really being playing at an impressive level. Over here, Giant River Troll Hag, though, has got to watch out. That Solar Engine has her number, and she is just not paying attention. She's staring at her bag of fish, and just not a care in the world that there's a giant lizard with a laser strapped to its back shooting at her. Oh, that one was a close miss. And now we're going to be seeing the Greenskins kind of making a push forward against the Lizardmen forces. Black Orcs leading the way with the 8-peak loonies. And now you have the Ragnarok Queen coming in, and this is when things can get really dicey for Mazda Mundi, is if this Ragnarok Queen comes in here and starts laying down just a ton of hurt on top of them. Oh, a very nice stagger. The Solar Engine coming into the fight here to help protect Mazda Mundi, and actually going to knock that Ragnarok Queen off of her feet. Well, I guess not technically, there's 8 of them. Oh, dad jokes are the best. Anyway, Archers from the Greenskins continuing to play a key role here, just chipping away at Mazdamundi's health and any of the other large units on the Lizardmen side of the battlefield. And as you can see, the balance of power is starting to flip, going to our red player as the Lizardmen start to flex those muscles of mobility and firepower and are just continuing to drag down the Lizard forces. Checking the peripheries of the field here, you see some Cold One Spear Riders running away from Night Goblins. Back here, you have all the Cold One Riders in combat with the Dryat River Troll Hag, but they just got Spirit Leeched, so she's probably going to live to fight another day. And, yep, that unit going to get routed off. And the Greenskins, as I mentioned earlier, starting to look strong in this late game as they continue to have tied up the Lizardmen skirmisher forces and isolate the dinosaurs. Right now, Lord Mazdamundi popping Apotheosis. He's not giving up just yet, and I don't think he should. You know, there's still plenty of Lizardmen pockets of units over here that are just getting regrouped and can be sent back into battle. But Mazdamundi has to regroup with them. He has to stay alive, because as long as he's isolated, you know, he's just getting murdered by this Arachnarok Queen, who is still full health. And the longer this battle wears on, that Arachnarok Queen's health being as high as it is really going to bite the Lizardmen in the butt. Oh, there goes another banishment. Ooh, nice cast going on top of all of these Forest Goblin Spider Riders and just doing a ton of work. Terror kicking in as well. And oh, very nice play to the Lizardmen here. Now there they go, getting on top of the Rusty Errors with some Skink Cohort. And, you know, the Lizardmen are not out of this yet, bringing the Chameleon Skinks up here to help in the skirmish engagement. Finally starting to see some health get chipped away here at the Arachnarok Queen. But there goes another devastating loon through the Skink Cohort. And man, oh man. Yeah, Arachnarok Queen is starting to feel the hurt from all the Chameleon Skinks over here. And she's going to turn around and start coming back here to the rest of the Greenskin forces. And the balance of power, as you can see, it's starting to go back to middle, folks. It's almost back to dead even. And now you still have this Feral Stegodon that's very healthy. A Solar Engine that is out of ammunition but still healthy. And the Lord Mazdamundi. And suddenly this is anybody's fight, guys. Still going to give an edge to the Greenskins just because Skarsnik and the Arachnarok Queen are so healthy. And there goes the Fermented Fungi. Oh man, it's not going to kick in on top of him though. It does give him that minus 24 melee defense, but he's not going to be rampaging. And the Arachnarok Queen is not going to be able to get in combat with him. And that may be a game-losing play, because now Skarsnik is all by his lonesome. The Arachnarok Queen, instead of being back here supporting the Greenskin ground forces, is going to be off chasing Mazdamundi, and that's going to allow the Lizardmen to regroup and just come in here and start smashing the Greenskin forces. And Skarsnik is all by himself here, and there goes a terror route, and the balance of power is going back to the Lizardmen. Gatos en mis zapatos. And Mazdamundi's just trotting along. Arachnarok Queen is just crawling along behind him. But, man, balance power is dead even right now. I'm just trying to see how the Greenskins can win this without Skarsnik, though. These guys, for one, should probably just hide, run away and hide, stay alive and keep the balance of power high. Mazdamundi is getting attacked now by the Arachnarok Queen. Arachnarok Queen is just not giving him any room to breathe, and now there's Forest Goblin Spider Riders nearby. So, if they can kill Mazdamundi, the balance of power will probably break back towards dead even. Because right now, Mazdamundi, I mean, I don't get these guys on top of him. Just get these guys on top of Mazdamundi, apply some poison to him, slow him down, do not let him survive this engagement. The only way the Greenskins can possibly win this battle now is if they can kill Mazdamundi before this pocket of dinosaurs kills Skarsnik. And right now, I think the dinosaurs are making a big mistake here. Lizardmen need to peel off some of these extra units. You just need one to keep chasing Skarsnik, and then bring over reinforcements to help here. But oh no, Greenskin's making another decisive mistake perhaps. It looks like the Arachnarok Queen has gotten distracted by the Skink Cohort, and Apotheosis getting popped on top of Lord Mazdamundi again. And look at him just trotting along, happy as a clam. Oh man, this looks like it's going to go to the Lizardmen. Would you look at that, chat? Anyway, let's finish up this battle and figure it out from there, because this has been a long series, and both players playing their hearts out, playing this incredibly well. Sir Atolfo with the Lizardmen coming back swinging, but it isn't over yet. Guess I can't say that, you know. If these units, which their leadership is quite low, if those units... Oh man, a big hit. Lord Mazmuni getting close to that healing cap, but the Ancient Stegodon coming in with a beautiful play to help save him. Ragnarok Queen is tough, but I don't think she's going to survive a triple team of dinosaurs. Shield of the Old One's getting cast in this dome of protection. Going to be helping out the Lizardmen forces inside, and a great game. What a comeback. And let's just go in for some close-ups now, as the Lizardmen finish their task of wiping this green skin menace off the face of the earth. Damn, that was a crazy fight. I mean, splitting up Skarsnik from the Queen was the decision that lost the battle there. Got to keep those units close to each other. Don't let them get isolated, especially against the Lizardmen. You need every single bit of leadership you can get in your corner. The Greenskins, they just can't win if you get their leadership low and drag them into the late game. Yeah, I thought Lizardman was gone for sure there for a minute, and then it was just back and forth a couple more times, and then what did you look at that? The Lizardman had it. Sir Astolfo of Bretonnia with the High Elves, taking on XMT Gobbo Slayer with the Vampire Coast. This is round 5. Winner takes all here, so time to see who will be crowned champion and qualify for the Season 7 playoffs of the HW League. Now, the map is Galbaraz. Nice, big, open, minor terrain features, but all in all, just a big open map, a lot of room to maneuver, and a lot of room to kill. So, starting with the High Elf army, in blue, we're going to have 4 units of Rangers. He is also going to be bringing 3 units of Archers, 2 units of Silver Helms, some nice shock cavalry here. We're then going to be looking at 2 Lion Chariots of Trace.
The skies are ours.
These guys are vicious and can be very well utilized against Coast. Seems to be a more popular pick as of late. Also going to see a single noble on a chariot down here, along with a noble on a steed for the armor-piercing anti-large. And then, of course, you have Alariel the Radiant up here on top of her eagle. She's going to have Tempest, Star of Aberlorn, Arcane Conduit, Earthblood, Shield of Novicia, Shield of Sapphire, and that will be it. Now, going over to the Vampire Coast, we have Gobbo Slayer in red. He's going to have 3 gunnery mob with bombs up front. We're also going to be looking at what appears to be just 1 Scurvy Dog. We're going to have Zombie Pirate Deckhand mob. Looks like we're going to have 3 of the generic variant. Oh. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Do my eyes deceive me? There is not a single polearm here. No Zombie Pirate Deckhand mob with polearms. Instead, we're going to have some Rotting Prometheans. They will be backing up that front line with a Rotting Leviathan, a Gunnery White on top of a Promethean. Going to have Enchanted Ballistics, Scab Scrath, and more powder. And then for the kicker, we have Queen Bessie here Who's going to have a wonderful time, as I'm sure she always does when she gets to shoot at high elf infantry. And then we have Count Noctilus on foot. Count Noctilus will have his halberds, always anti-infantry armor piercing. He's going to have Captain Roth's Moondial. He's feeling stoked about life. Got Wraithstorm, Arcane Conduit, Invocation of the Heck, and the Drowned Dead. He's got some barnacles on his armor, just to remind you that he's from the sea. Viking, there'll be more than 2. I don't plan on ending this season until December at the earliest. I might do the playoffs in January or something once the holiday season is settled down. I mean, just time to see what happens here, I guess. All I know is there's a lot of crabs here, as Romler would say. Did the High Elves bring enough butter? And so it begins. High Elves going to begin by pivoting, facing their foe. Queen Bess is not in range of anything yet, so we'll see how the High Elves decide to approach this. You know, they have a couple of options. I think one option that might not be the worst idea, if they can deal with the Carronades in some way, is just sticking with using their chariots to move forward and start attacking zombies. And then, you know, maybe bring some silver helms up around the sides. Because as long as you can avoid the artillery fire, there's really nothing here to threaten you. Queen Bess was too slow to effectively hit cavalry, as long as you're microing it half decent. And then the bombers don't really do good armor piercing, and obviously the deckhand mob, there's no pole arms in this army to speak of, so I think this right here is going to be very important to watch as the battle progresses, because this is how the High Elves are going to win the game. They're not going to win it with the Rangers or their Archers, I can guarantee you that, just because I think unless they shut down Queen Bess immediately, or, you know, really focus on dodging these shots, Queen Bess is just going to get too much value. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Queen Bess just lobbing explosive crates into these pointy-eared High Elves. And look at that noble already taking a ton of damage from the Carronades, but he's getting healed up right now. Oh, Wraithstorm coming in. Oh, and he's dead. The Carronades knocking that noble out of existence just like that. Holy hell. Balance of power shifting significantly to the Vampire Coast after that play. And now the Queen Bess is focusing on these archers, who, as you can see, 2 of them have already taken a direct hit by the looks of it. And I don't think the High Elf player is going to have the time to micro them to avoid incoming fire. It looks like they're just going all in on top of the artillery. And, you know, that can honestly work. So time will tell. And let's see what happens from here. Silver Helms and the Lion Chariots of Trace going to have to do a lot of lifting without that noble. Over here comes the Silver Helms, getting a nice charge, hitting the Scurvy Dogs in the back. Getting rid of those Scurvy Dogs will be a very important play for sure. There goes another Earthblood upgrade this time. And the Queen Bess is going to continue to fire, and this time its target is this unit of High Elf Archers way out in the long field. Oh, just going to miss, but still going to do some damage from that explosion. Queen Bess shooting again, but the Silver Helms may have shut her down for good. But will this shot land? I'm just curious. I can't help it. Oh, it will. Direct hit on top of the High Elf Archers. Over here, Star of Averlorn going down on top of Valariel. Some Rangers, Silver Helms. Lion Chariots of Trace not quite in it. It looks like they're now going to leave and just go over here. Scabstrath very well placed on top of the Rangers there. The bomb's getting thrown in, causing a lot of damage to those Rangers too. But over here, it does look like we are going to see the Silverhelm shut down Queen Bess. But this noble on his horse has gotten surrounded and is in a terrible place. And man, losing both nobles within the first 5 minutes of the battle is going to be a tough thing to come back from. Archers are open fire again. Queen Bess is shattered and gone. Silverhelms need to pull out of here. There's nothing blocking them. They just literally need to turn around and run. Just run, run, run! Oh, and that noble getting shot down by the Raystorm. Gunnery White still pinning him in place. I just don't know if Alariel will have enough of a punch to win this in the long run. Lion Chariot. Oh, this Lion Chariot still has 3 models. So we will see. I mean, if they survive and get healed up. Oh no, 2 models now. But if they get healed up with 2 models, they can still get back to about 66% health. And this Lion Chariot is still all models available. So time will tell, and it looks like the High Elves are starting to get their units regrouped. And without Queen Bess on the field, you know, this is when these High Elf archers, or what remains of them, will become very, very deadly, especially considering they have a good amount of ammunition. Over here, I think it's about time for Alariel to regroup with her noble. Noble needs to keep running away, though. The Gunnery White is coming in to snipe him down. Gunnery White coming in, and oh man, one more hit and he's dead. Get the noble out of there. So many things that is the third-person party you can just like see right away, and you're like, oh no, get back out of there, pull away. But obviously, as the player, you're just keeping track of so much, dealing with so much micro to keep track of. But I think the High Elves are in a deceptively strong place here. If, and it's a big if, Alariel can get her chariots regrouped with that noble and throw down a nasty, just I'm like talking about the most nasty Star of Averlorn you've ever seen. But right now, Alariel diving into combat. I'm not sure why she's doing this. She's a slippery lord, but there's a lot of crabs around here, and these crabs have the mass to get her. But look at that, some good micro pathing her out of there, and in come the chariots and rangers to assist. Meanwhile, the rest of the High Elf forces are regrouping in the back, and don't underestimate the High Elves yet, guys. They could do this. Star of Averlorn looks like it's getting ready to be procced. Oh, starting with an Earthblood. Oh, and there's that Star of Averlorn. And look at that, the noble just sucking it up, loving life. And oh, Raystorm coming in again. It will. Oh! Oh, he's not getting healed. He is not. Why isn't he getting healed? That Star of Averlorn seems bugged. You have to have like every model in there. Oh, that is painful to watch. Why did it heal so little? Oh man, Noble was coming back, and the Noctis is like, no, just click and delete. You are gone now. But these crabs are getting worn down. Balance of power is really in favor of the coast right now. Indication that going down on top of the Gunnery White, by the looks of it. Maybe it was canceled out, I'm not quite sure. Over here, Lion Chariots of Trace getting into combat. Balance of power really going to the Vampire Coast right now. Need to see them maybe pulling some of these units out of combat periodically, because if a mass chain route caused by terror is a very real possibility at this point. And I just don't know. I mean, if that Star of Averlorn had gone better and actually healed the noble up a bit, maybe healed up the chariots a bit more than it ended up healing them, then maybe they could do this. But I think this may be all she wrote for Alariel and her companions. Alariel's continuing to just dive into the fight. Oh no, there goes the army losses. And the Vampire Coast will be victorious. XMT Gobbo Slayer gonna lead himself to a 3-2 victory in a very hard-fought best-of-5. Want to thank both of these players for participating. A huge congratulations to Gobbo Slayer for being victorious in today's tournament. And a big shout out to Atolfo for getting into second place and bringing it to that tiebreaker. Wonderful game to everyone. I know most people are rooting for the High Elves there, but hey, coast victory in the end ain't bad by me. Malverde. Yeah, Wraithstorm is maybe needs a tweak, maybe. But anyways, on that note, I gotta run, guys. Thank you so much for everything. I'll catch you later. My son HW signing out. And yeah, take care of yourself. See you on the battlefield.